Daredevil, Born Again's final episode got me pretty emotional after it referenced the silliest joke from Marvel's original Daredevil series. The successor to the original Daredevil series on Netflix has already proven itself to be more than worthy, with a fantastic 9-episode run culminating in one of the best finales I've seen in the MCU. After relinquishing the mantle in Daredevil, Born Again Episode 1, Matt Murdock re-embraced his Daredevil persona and teased us all with a promise of forming an army to rally against the now fully despotic Mayor Wilson Fisk. Matt's journey towards reclaiming his superhero persona was a painful one. Daredevil, Born Again Episode 1 was just as compelling as the finale, but in the most tragic way. Matt Murdock's decision to relinquish the Daredevil persona was difficult to argue against. Before learning the deeper conspiracy behind his best friend's murder, the prevailing theory suggested that Foggy was targeted due to his association with Daredevil. Compounding this tragedy is Foggy's futile attempts to dissuade Matt from pursuing his vigilantism and place his faith in the system. While theories abound over Foggy's potential return to Daredevil, Born Again, this didn't occur by the time of the Daredevil, Born Again finale. I'm glad, at least, that Karen Page finally returned, re-embracing her role as Matt's moral anchor and confidant, and her return was pretty consequential. It was during their interaction that I felt the pang of Foggy's death once again, thanks to them referencing an older joke in the Daredevil lore. Daredevil, Born Again brings back one of the original series' silliest jokes. It encapsulates an early, happy stage in Matt and Foggy's friendship. After unearthing some key information about Foggy's death in a conversation with Bullseye, Matt Murdock and Karen Page begin looking into Nelson's last case before his murder. This brings them to a storage space to find files on Foggy's case involving Dumb Benny. More of Foggy's personal effects are also stored in the same space, which leads them to discover a wooden plaque engraved with avocados at law, causing Matt to recall a personal joke between the two from Daredevil Season 1. Avocados at law stems from a conversation between Matt and Foggy where Foggy asks Matt what the Spanish word is for lawyer. When Matt replied, abogado, Foggy seems to mishear and proclaims them to be avocados. The joke is particularly silly, helped in no small part by their inebriated state when the joke first arose. In the context of Daredevil, Born Again, however, the joke carries a sting in its tail. Daredevil, Born Against avocados at law reference is genuinely heartbreaking in its new context. Foggy Nelson died while upholding the law. Karen Page holds an avocados at law plaque in Daredevil Born Again. It's painful to consider how Matt must be feeling when fondly reflecting on a personal joke that materialized at a time when the two best friends' relationship was in its infancy, and they were distinctly happy. The joke embodies Foggy's general levity, when he's not decrying Matt's vigilantism, at least, while discovering the plaque points to how touching their friendship was. It would have been a painful reminder of what Matt had lost, more than 1 year after Foggy's death threw his world into disarray. Furthermore, the scene helps to remind us that Foggy is truly dead. The fact that Matt fondly reflects on the avocados at law reference with Karen in the absence of Foggy, with no subsequent payoff of having Foggy re-emerge, suggests that this is not about to happen anytime soon. Compounding the pain of this reality is the fact that Foggy died while attempting to uphold the law, and it was this, not Daredevil's extra-legal activities, that painted the target on his back. Daredevil, Born Again Season 1 shows exactly how Foggy can stay in the story even if his death is permanent. Foggy still influences Matt. Although this scene is seemingly designed to remind us that Foggy is well and truly dead in the MCU, I don't think this will be the end of his involvement in Daredevil, Born Again. While I am pretty convinced by the theories about Foggy's eventual return, I'm also open to the idea that this grounded MCU story will keep his death permanent, but bring him back into the fold in a more metaphysical way. This poignant scene shows how Foggy's influence can still pervade the show without him physically appearing, guiding Matt from beyond the grave as he continues to reflect on their relationship and what Foggy would have pushed for if he were alive. Daredevil, Born Again Season 2 could go further, with manifestations of Foggy Nelson appearing via flashbacks or as figments of Matt's imagination. The latter eventuality was foreshadowed by Frank Castle in Daredevil, Born Again Episode 4 when he revealed to Matt that his late son talks to him and encourages his activities. I can see Foggy doing something similar with Matt, only taking a decidedly different route from Castle's son and instead continuing to dissuade Matt from his superheroics. Considering Eldon Henson is already slated to return for Daredevil, Born Again Season 2, I'm convinced this might be Marvel's intention.